Let's look into the agenda for today's session. Today we will be learning about list methods. So what are those list methods? Let's look into it. So first we will be discussing about these list methods. First we will be seeing append, extend, then insert, then pop, then remove. Okay, so let's go to Jupyter Notebook. Let's create a list and see how it actually works. Okay, so I have opened my Jupyter Notebook. Let's rename the workbook. I'll say list methods, and okay, let's create a list. I'll give the name of a list as A, and I'll say 10, 20, 30, 50, 30, 25, again 25, again 30, let's say 60, let's say 102, let's say 254, let's say 30 again, and let's say 25, let's say 60. Okay, so here we have a big list. Let's press shift enter and let's print our list. Okay, this is our list. Now what was the first one? First we'll go about append. Let's give some style to it, and okay, so append. Now what we have to basically do, let's consider this is as a list. Okay, let's give this a little bit, so make these two as separate elements. Okay, now what we have to do, the first operation, if you have any list, now I told you that we can modify a list whenever we want. Now the first way is, if you want to add any more elements to this list, you can use append. In append, if you want, you can use 10, and if you'll press enter and if you'll print, then if you can see 10 has been added to the list. In this way, if you want to add any more element, let's say I want to add minus 120, and if you go and check your A, it will be minus 120. Understood? So in this way, if you want, you can add any number of elements to it, but there is a catch. Now if I'll say I want to append, but I want to append a list, I will say I want to append 10, 20. Now if you go and check your A, then it will be added as a list, right? So the first case is, if you want to add multiple elements as a list, then you can add like this. Or else if you want to add single by single, so you can provide only one element in append and it will be added as a one element. But if you want to add as a list, you can add as a list using append. But let's say I don't want to use, whenever I'm providing any list, I don't want to add it as a list. I want to add it as numbers 10 and 20. How will I do that? What I'll do, I'll just use the original list that we had. Now in this case, if we want to extend our list, so basically what we are doing, we are just extending our list. So I am saying that my A is this. Now what I want to do, I want to use elements 10, 20. Now with append, what you see, with append what you saw, that it was added as a list. Now when you are using extend, it will be added as a number. So it will extend the list with 10 and 20. So similar way, if you have another list, you have another list as 10, 20 and 30, and if I say A dot extend B, and if I say go and check A, it will be appended. Understood? So this is the difference between append and extend. So in append, if you are providing a list as an argument, it will be appending the whole list to the existing list. While if you are using extend as a if you are using extend method and you are providing list as an argument, it will be appending each and every element, not a list. Okay, fine. So what was the third one? Third one was insert. Now let's take a situation. What I'll do, I'll just take the original list. I don't want to use the list of which we have edited so far. I'll use the same list A. Okay. Now let's say if you want to insert any element. Now append is basically what append is basically doing. It is inserting an element but at the end. Now I want to add an element at the second position. What I can use insert, and I'll say first one as the index 2 and I'll add 30. Not 30, let's use 24. If I'll go and check my A, can you see? Now I got 24 as the second index. Okay, now the next operation is pop. Okay, so I'll go and take my original list. This is my original list, and I'll go and check what my original list is. Now I'll use pop and I won't provide any argument to the pop. What it will do, it will remove the last element. List is already in order, so pop will return you the last element because you have not provided any argument to it. Now if you'll go and check your A, 60 has been removed, right? Now what I don't want to take the last element, I want to take the first element. How will I take the first element? A dot pop as 0. It will take the first element, 0th index. Now if you go and check your A, this is A. If I say I want to pop my last element, -1, and it has popped your last element, right? So this is the way. So first what you have learned, how you can add an element at the end using append, how you can basically add 2 or 3 elements using a list by using extend method. Then what we have learned, we have also learned how we can insert an element at any index using insert. Then what we learned, how we can remove any element using pop. Now what we will be doing the next. So now I will be using remove. Okay, so why do we use remove? So I'll take my original list that we had and I'll just print it out. Oh, so Python is case sensitive and you cannot use small a. I'll use capital A. Now what we have used pop, and what we have learned so far, that if I can provide any index to my pop method, then it will remove the element from that index, right? But let's say I don't want to remove the element from an index. I just want to provide my number and want it to be removed. So let's say I want to remove 30. Okay, I want to remove 30. What it will do, it will remove the first occurrence of 30. Now if you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. There were 4 30s. Now we have 1, 2 and 3. If you again go and use the same operation, and I'll go and remove 30. And if I'll go and check A, now you will be having 2 30s. Okay. So by this remove method, what we learned, we can remove a number, we can remove anything, any value directly. By using pop, we can remove based on an index. Let's go back to our presentation and see what methods do we have. Okay, so you have already seen append, extend, insert, pop and remove. Now let's move on. Now we will be looking into other methods, wherein we will be seeing the count method, index, reverse, sort and length. Length we have already seen. So let's start with count. So I have opened my Jupyter notebook. Let's go with count. So what count is exactly going to do? So let's go and take our original list. Okay. Now I'll go and print my list once again. So what I want to do, I want to count how many 30s we have in this list, because I can see there are too many 30s. So I'll say a dot count and I'll say 30. Now you got the result as 4 because there were 4 30s. If I want to check, I'll go and check 25. Okay, you'll get 3 because there were 3 25. If I'll go and search a number which is not already there, which is not present in the list, I'll go and search for 100. So you'll get 0 because there is no such element as 100 in the list. Fine. Okay, the next method is index. So if you can see, this is your list A. Now what I want to find my 50. I want to find at which position I have 50. I'll say a dot index. I'll say 50. It will return me the position of the first occurrence of 50. If I say I want to get an index of 30, so if you can see, the second index is my first index. So 30 is present at the second index. It is not going to give you any information about the next occurrence of 30. It will give you the position of first occurrence of 30. Okay, so it is presented too. Fine. So the next one, as I told you in my previous lecture about reverse, so as the name suggests, you can easily understand that it will basically reverse your whole list. So a dot reverse, and if I'll go and check A, so if you can see, 60 is coming from the and 10 is coming at the end, right? The one which was there at the last position is coming at the first position, and the one which was there at the first position is coming at the last position. Fine. If you also want to try reverse, you can also use colon -1 operator, which will also give you the same result. If you don't want to use that, you can use this one. Right. Let's move on to the next function, which is sort. So sort, you must have heard about sort a number of times. So list also has a sort function. So if I go and check my list, so let's go and check. Let's take the original list, because my list has already changed over here from reverse. So I'll go and print my list A. Now A dot sort. Now this will sort my list. Can you see now it is sorted? Right? Now it is sorted. What if I don't want to sort it? What if I don't want to sort it? I want to sort it in let's say in decreasing order. What I can use here, sort, and I'll say reverse equal to true. And if I'll go and check my A, now it has been sorted in reverse order. Fine. So this way you can use sort function. So the last one is len. We already know about how len works. How len will basically give you the total number of elements in A. Now let's try an example. So I'll say A dot remove. I'll say A dot remove 102. Now what is your A? This is your A. I'll say len of A. Now can you see the length of A has decreased to 30? Fine. So by this way, you can basically get the length of the list and just try out all the functions that I have told you so far. And if you have any issues, if you find any difficulties, so just let me know. And till then, see you. Take care.